Whoa, God. So how fucking spooky is this, huh? This is just like, hey, what if everything's really creepy while you're down here? So, old school PlayStation controller. Did they even... I don't even think this controller's an artifact in the game. I don't recall whether this edition of it is, because I know they did the DualShock. I don't remember if they did the original one. Ken's. I don't know. I don't remember who Ken... If Ken is like a specific person, or they just picked a name for it. There's a lot of Kens. Who's Ken Kutagari? I'm getting the names wrong. Demo 1. Demo 1. Some spooky stairs going this way. Listen to that music. All these PlayStation 1 memory cards. Oop. Some surprise enemies, though. The music in this game is very, very good. I'm noticing also on the recording that it looks like it might be a little jittery. That could be my computer doing something weird. Hopefully the footage is not jittery. I'll be very sad if on the second recording things are also still not good. Well, we got ourselves little V's, and I was just like, wait, are these like hearts for life? Do we have multiple hits? Hey, hi there, Dinosaur. T-Rex tech demo. Goddamn. So that orange dinosaur that we've been seeing throughout the game, I guess the idea is that was like, I don't know how true it is. I don't know the history of PlayStation very well, but I am curious if like, oh, is that like, was that like the very first tech demo for the PlayStation back at like the Consumer Electronics Showcase or something? Alright, fighting more dudes. Avoiding more discs. Alright. His eye is all sparky and weird. Ooh. Oh boy. Whoa. Here we go. And imagine my surprise when it's just like, oh, yeah, only 2 hits there. And then, fucking another rareware-looking motherfucker comes out of nowhere. Oh, also, it took me... I didn't realize until the second time I did the fight, because I did the fight twice just because I wanted to check something. When you're fighting the earlier version, the tech demo T-Rex, the orange one, the screen goes into standard definition. It goes into 4:3 aspect ratio. So that was kind of fun. Okay. Look at that background and everything. They got some stuff going on here. Yeah. Ooh. Lots more enemies. Okay. Oh, we got more modern disc types, and it looks like we've got the more than just the demo discs. We've now got PS1 through 5 disc types, including stuff like the Astro Bot disc that we saw earlier. Oh yeah. Check that out. Bang! Throw that trophy right in his goddamn eye. Oh yeah, and then I have to get on up here and land some blows. Ugh, creepy. Then this guy. Bang! Oh yeah, and then let's go ahead and grab this. Eat a dick. Oof. Down goes T-Rex. So that's kind of an interesting little boss fight. Nice little bit of history on that one, too. And also, just, like, surprised by the 2 phases of 2 hits apiece. There we go, Astro's Playroom. And you can actually whack all this stuff like it's a Smash Brothers game. Or, oh my god, what was the Tatsunoko versus Capcom, I think, had a destructible set of credits, too. And at least one of the Kingdom Hearts games did. Or maybe it was that you had to read the, like, certain glowing letters or something. This one doesn't do that, but I don't think anyway. But yeah, so... Astro's Playroom. A very adorable little tech demo. I think it does a great job of showing... It's such an odd little piece of tech in that it's showing off not so much the PlayStation 5 as much as it is the DualSense controller. It's kind of surprising that, like... Because, like, you got your... Whoops! Oh, no! You got your, You've got your, like, Nintendo Land. The funny part is, both times I beat the bosses, I didn't miss any of them before, but... you got your, like, Nintendo Lands and your Wii Sports, 1-2 Switch, stuff like that. Like, I guess they're all kind of Nintendo-focused, but they're all usually more showing off the... Oh my god, I did it again. I, like, rolled off the jump button and just missed my jump altogether. Usually they're more showing off the system, though I suppose, thinking on it a little bit more, for both Nintendo Land and... Actually, I guess for all 3 of them, for Wii Sports, for Nintendo Land, and for 1-2 Switch, they're equally showing off the controllers, like, as their tech demo. They're talking like, oh, here's all the motion controls the Wiimote can do. Here's all of the, like, cool touchscreen and asymmetric gameplay that the Wii U gamepad can offer. And then for the Switch, it's like, all right, here's all of the, like, weird shit that the the Joy-Cons can do. So I guess they sort of all are just as much controller tech demos as they are for the system itself. Huh. Yeah, fading out there. But yeah, so now we are to the proper credits. There is a second credit section here. But yeah, Astro's Playroom, pretty rad. It's such an enjoyable little game. I really had a good time with this one. I am a sucker for, like, platforming games in general. 3D platformers in particular, I feel, have so much room for imagination and just these creative little set pieces and things. And not to mention, this is like such a huge, like, love letter to, yeah, look at that, special thanks to our Worldwide Studios friends, all of those studios there. It's such a love letter to all of these different games that have kind of found their home on the PlayStation, family consoles, which makes the comments from, I think it was the CEO, was it Kaz Hirai? Or whoever, that was just like, oh, we don't really have enough of our own IPs. And it's like, maybe, first party IPs, maybe, but second and third party, the PlayStation has tons that they're known for. Like, even if you're going, like, full mascot mode, I mean, they had, Spyro and Crash Bandicoot primarily on Sony side. Oh, you got this far? Here, we'll give you 10 cool points. And then, followed up with, like, Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. Nowadays, there's, like, Kratos, Aloy, and honestly, Astro is a really solid contender in the, like, mascot-y kind of space. You don't have to go nuts designing I dropped the controller. You don't have to go nuts designing and over-designing a character in order to have them be, like, a meaningful addition to your roster, to your stable. But I think, I've heard really good things about Astro Bot so far, and I'm, very curious about it. I've heard really great things, and, like, everybody that's been playing it has basically been like, oh yeah, this is incredible. Maybe Sony's Game of the Year, which is a wild accolade to push towards an adventure platformer for a console that really doesn't cultivate much in the way of simple action platformers. The PlayStation, anytime I think of PlayStation games, I think of these really involved systems. Like, I think of, like, the Insomniac battle systems. Stuff like Spider-Man, the 3 Spider-Man games on the PS4, PS5. Really involved technical stuff, But yeah, I don't know. I think Astro, I think the character is named Astro, not Astro Bot, but I don't know that for certain. But Astro seems to be, charming everybody right now, and I think it is really only a good thing if there are games that come out that people really, really enjoy. Like, I think that, the console war era of gaming, I guess eras, there's been 2 or 3 at this point, but I don't know. I feel like that stuff is all kind of set dressing, right? The benefit of a console war is supposed to be that the different consoles competing with each other are competing to outdo one another, to land the biggest game, to get the most sales by making the game that the most people want to play, right? Competition breeds creativity. And I hope, then we get comments about the PlayStation 5 Pro, which had not been announced when I recorded this originally, but the timing couldn't have been more perfect. The PS5 Pro price point, 100 cool points. The PS5 Pro price point, which is a bit of a tongue twister, of $700 without a disc drive, without a vertical stand. Like, holy fucking cheap, Batman, on that front. But they apparently justified that by saying that there isn't much competition, which I assume is intended to mean, well, there's not much competition, which means we don't need to drive our prices down and take a heavier loss to do this, which is accurate to a point. The Xbox Series X and Series S are selling miserably. They're in the 20 million unit range, which is basically the same spot the Oculus Go was at. Like, it's bad right now for Xbox. But I don't know. I feel like the optics of saying, well, we priced it like this because we don't need to price it lower to beat Microsoft, is like really kind of showing their whole ass with that one, who they're actually more concerned about in the end. Like, that's just kind of I don't know, it's kind of a bummer to have them openly be like, oh yeah, we priced this at $700 because, we can get away with that because no one's going to be pricing us out. It's like, ooh, God. There's a little part of me that does slightly hope that Nintendo does announce the Switch 2 soon, just because I'm very curious what the price point on that's going to be. And the PS5's in an interesting spot. They're selling generally well. They're in the 60 or so million unit range. They haven't even passed the PlayStation Portable yet. Meanwhile, the PS2 is at risk of losing its crown to the Switch. The PS2 sold 155 million units. The Nintendo DS and 3DS sold 154 million units. And then we got the Switch, which is at 143 million right now, I think. And it is entirely possible that they do manage to make those last 12 million sales and close that gap entirely. And even if they don't do it before a Switch 2 gets announced, it's still definitely a possibility as the Switch 2 is kind of landing out there. But I don't know. It's interesting how much people have been comparing Astro's Playroom and Astro Bot to they're doing a Nintendo game, and it's it's not an insult. It's also something that doesn't need to. Oh, Amaterasu lives on. It's not something that needs to be a Nintendo thing, but also Nintendo is pretty well known for the bulk of their games being simpler in design, but also 1,000 cool points for you. But also they generally do really well. I don't think it's a problem for a game to be in the ballpark where you wouldn't be surprised if it were a Nintendo game. And, like, there's a lot of people that are upset about it, and there's a lot of people that are like, oh, great, this one's doing well, so now we're going to get a lot of stupid games for idiots. And it's like, that's so not true. Even Nintendo has its, I mean, I feel like every time we have a Nintendo Direct, there's another Monster Hunter thing. But, I don't know. I think we just need a broader spectrum of games available to people. That's right, it's you, the player and the true hero of the story. Thank you, and see you again in our next adventure. The end. Oh. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah.